Right, g'day guys, Clint here for dropshipdownunder.com.au. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 different things that you can do when selecting a niche so it is relatively stress-free. So with that, let's get started. Right, so how to select a niche that's relatively stress-free. I mean, nothing is ever easy and nothing is ever 100% stress-free, but I've got 4 things that I usually look for in a niche when I'm building a new store or looking to build a new store. And the number one thing is I like it to be lightweight where and if possible, okay? I'm not saying that that's, the 100% the go-to, and I haven't built stores with really, really heavy stuff before, but when I'm doing my initial niche research, I keep it and look for lightweight items, because for shipping, especially in Australia, it can be a nightmare. It can be really tough. So having really lightweight items, that the shipping is going to be super cheap or if not free. So when you're working with your suppliers or you're actually, having to organise your own shipping, that you're going to be able to factor that price in, and it's not going to break the bank, and you're not going to have to overthink it as you move forward, into your business, right? Number 2 is always use local suppliers. And again, this is for the same reason sort of as the light items. Basically for shipping, if you're shipping stuff outside of Australia, the shipping times are horrendous. They're ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks for your customers to get their products, and it's just going to be a nightmare. They're going to be ringing you, calling you, lots of customer inquiries, lots of hassles, lots of stress on your end. Okay, so by using only local suppliers, Aussie suppliers, you reduce the workload, you reduce the customer service you're going to need to do, you reduce the stress, right? Third, whenever I'm looking for a niche to start with, I always try and find, and again, this is not 100% the golden rule. This is just a rough guide of the kind of what I'm looking for, but no or very little working parts. And again, this is so you'll get much less returns. Okay, you'll get less customer problems and hassles and feedback. How does this work? Why isn't it working the way it should? Why is this small part broken? Especially electronics, they can be difficult because electric motor wiring, any form of little bits and pieces that could go wrong with the electrics. So the fewer moving parts, or at least hard, strong moving parts. We'll think of bikes, for example. They've got the really strong drivetrain, and it's unlikely to break. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd consider very little moving parts. It's got a really strong moving part, but it's not it's not gonna, it's not electrics where it's fiddly and it can't be worked out what's wrong, and you've got to take the return and buggerize around. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so little to no working parts is sort of ideal for keep your stress levels down, keep the customer service down, keep the customer questions down. You know what I mean? So if you're selling something very simple, like, although call it, say, beds, for example, even though again it's not the lightweight niche, but I'm just thinking of a niche that has no or little working parts. It's strong, it's hard, it's not going to break, it's got no working parts. You know what I mean? So as long as it looks like it should on the package, you're good to go, kind of thing. Now, the last one, and probably the most important one, is only sell high ticket items, right? I'll give you 3 or 4 reasons because of that. 1, high ticket items, you make a ton more profit without having to sell thousands and thousands and thousands of items every day to make the same amount of money. So if you're selling $1,000, $2,000 item, you sell 2 or 3 of those a day, you've made bank. And if you were selling little fidget spinners, some shit from China, you're going to have to sell thousands and thousands and thousands. And, it's just as easy to sell a high ticket item as it is to sell, thousands and thousands of cheap ones, right? Also, you generally sell on higher quality gear, right? So again, this is less stress, less customer service, less problems, less issues, less returns, right? Less phone calls. It just drops your stress level a lot, because that you're selling quality gear. People are investing in it. Expect some sort of again, quality gear. So you're dealing with customers that are, they're not just buying on a whim. And it's funny how it works. The cheaper items tend, for whatever reason, to get these crazy returns all the time, because it's just people that are just fucking around on the internet, you know what I mean? But where people who buy the higher ticket items tend to have done a bit of research, they know what they want. Once they get it, and it is what it says it was, supposed to be, they're happy, and it's really quite a smooth process. And again, high ticket items, you've got the potential to build a real sustainable, solid business, and your profits are better. So, and again, you feel good because you're building up a real business, not some, trying to hawk some shit from China, right? You're building a real sustainable business. That drops your stress down, knowing that you're building something you can maybe later on sell if you wanted to. It's a lot more consistent than having to try and find all the, the trending items and all this sort of rubbish, right? So they're 4 things that I try and look for when selecting a niche to keep it as stress-free as possible. So that's about it, guys. If you want to find out exactly how we select our niches and anything else in between with dropshipping in Australia, head over to dropshipdownunder.com.au. Tons of resources over there. We've got an awesome course that shows you everything step by step. Head over there, dropshipdownunder.com.au. Other than that, give me a thumbs up, guys, if you got something out of the vid, and obviously subscribe and all the rest of it. And until next time, keep living the dream, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers.